The first step of the process is the icebreaker, and we'd like you to look at the following. Does the teacher welcome families in ways that honor them and their contributions? Does she ask them what they're doing at home to promote student learning? Does she break the ice, and does she affirm what they say as appropriate? Is she building trust, and is she establishing a warm relationship?
Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming out tonight. I know you have a busy schedule and I really appreciate you coming out to see what your kids are going to be learning this year in 4th grade. We learn a lot and there's a lot more independence and a lot more homework, but we need you guys to help us at home so that they can be more successful in school. So my first question to you would be, what do you guys do with your child to help them in reading or in math? On a daily basis? Are there things that they ask you to help them with? Do you sit with them regularly? Are there skills that you work on? And if you just want to kind of talk to each other about that at first, and then we can get back together and maybe we can write some things down to discuss them further. So go ahead, talk amongst yourself.
I usually sit with Devin every day for his homework and make sure he's doing everything right. And if he has any questions or anything,
I've already done my homework.
Okay.
So, but it's difficult to get him to read. I'm a reader and he's not.
Okay.
Right.
The thing that I'll help her out with is when she doesn't understand a word or something like that, she'll ask me to define it or how to pronounce it.
So, are you guys ready? Maybe I can write some things down so we can share with each other.
Okay.
Okay. So, we were talking over here. Go ahead. You tell me what you do with your daughter.
She reads between 20 and 30 minutes every night, and that's not optional.
That's right.
And when you say that, that means that she's not exactly going willingly to do that, or?
There are times when she's not willing, but...
Okay. Now, after she reads, do you ever do anything to talk to her about what she read?
There are times, yeah, especially when she doesn't understand a word or...
Okay, so words, you go over some vocabulary?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it okay?
I want to read it at the table.
So, let me ask you guys, what do they do? Anything with math?
Yes.
Yes?
Devin
Okay.
loves math.
Awesome.
He loves the challenge and trying to figure out all the problems and trying to solve it.
Okay.
I just find it difficult when I was in school how they taught us. Like right now you guys are doing the division.
Sure.
You're doing all those extra steps.
Right.
And I'm like, why are they doing this? But I try to get him to understand my way and both ways. So when it does come down to the easier way, because they're learning all the steps.
Okay, so you practice different strategies with him. Okay.
The second step of the process is the sharing of data on key skills, especially as they reflect the goals of the school improvement plan. Watch in this video as the teacher shares with parents information about specific areas where the students need the most help. Does she explain what the skills are and how they are measured?
What I do want to focus in on right now, though, is being fluent with reading and what you could do at home. Okay, so we know fluency means the speed of reading. The first thing I want to say is that in 4th grade, when you read, you want to read somewhere around 105 words per minute. There's a range there. If it's a little less, it's not, the worst thing in the world. You don't really want to be reading a lot more than 145 words a minute, though, too. And that can also play a part in comprehension. If a child reads too fast, and they think that, this is just going to be, what my teacher's looking for or what my parents looking for, because I can read really fast and I can read accurately, and I've got students like that. They can read accurately, But then you come back to asking those comprehension questions and, what? No, I didn't catch that. I didn't catch those little pieces in a story. So 105 words a minute is a great place to be in 4th grade.
Step 3 in the process is to model the teaching strategy used in the classroom that addresses the specific learning goal by the teacher. Look in this video to see, is she showing parents how she specifically teaches this skill? Is she giving parents the specific and easy to implement ideas that they can do at home?
What can we do to make fluency and practice fluency at home? The best thing, when you said before about reading out loud, or reading together, reading out loud and taking parts is a great way to practice fluency. Now, if your child is really having a hard time, we call it echo reading. So if you read and then they reread what you read because they've just heard what you've read, and they can focus in on those words, especially if there was something that was difficult to pronounce. And so they echo whatever you've said. And so that's one way that you can practice fluency. Choral reading, you might remember that back when they were younger, but even with some more difficult books. So choral reading is reading together. You're both saying it at the exact same time. It makes them a little bit more confident too. Reading out loud, you do slow down your words per minute a little bit. So they might get nervous that they might get to a word and, try to, right through it and, oh, she didn't notice that, right? So if you choral read, that could help them with more difficult books too.
Step number 4, practice this activity at tables. When you watch the video, does the teacher give the parents an opportunity to practice the activity? Does the teacher give the parents an opportunity to practice the activity with one parent playing the role of the child and the other the role of the parent? Is the teacher walking around coaching the parents? Did she ask them how they felt about practicing?
Sitting next to you. How about if you work on the echo reading? Again, that's when you're going to read and then she'll reread the same thing after you've finished. And then I'm going to have the both of you work on choral, and that's going to be reading the same section at the exact same time, trying to stay together, keep the speed going, practice that fluency. And I'm going to work with you, and we're going to work up to rereading and rereading and rereading to see if we can get a little faster every time we reread a section. Okay? All right.
All right, so. Oh, we have I'll go to this page. What would it be? All right.
1, 2, 3. Yes, do that.
So I'll practice for you. So it would be.
Move away.
Did you ever look at the giant in the eye? Have you shaken hands with a gorilla or been face to face with a tiger? All the animals in this book are shown at actual size, so you can see how you measure up to creatures both large and small.
Step number 5, ask parents what strategies they'd like to use at home. Watch in this video. Are the parents talking about how they can apply these skills at home?
How did that work for you?
It was pretty good. It was. I can see how it would be helpful, at least with my son and his fluency.
Excellent. It really does help a lot. How about with the choral?
Choral makes it more interesting and funner to read.
Especially when you're doing it with your mom or dad.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's kind
they
of
love
fun.
it. They do. You'll be surprised. And how did you learn anything from when we were rereading our section?
Yeah, I think it's interesting how you said that it's important to look at not only the words that you're reading, but also the end of every sentence. If there's an question mark, an exclamation point, if there are quotations in the sentence, I think that's really going to help.
Excellent. So I want you to know that here at the school, we are working on this as our school improvement plan in every grade. We work at our fluency. 4th grade works at 105 words per minute or more. We do these things in school on a daily basis. We also test them throughout the year for some of our district records, and those are things that I would always be welcome to share with you. We can always sit together. We can, share it through emails, any kind of communication that works for you, and I can let you know where your child is and what we're doing to always improve that for your child. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it.
Step number 6, ask parents, how can I help you? And how can I help your child accomplish this goal and make growth?
So I want to thank you for coming today, but before we do separate and leave, what can I do to help your child achieve more in the area of math? Is there anything I can do to help support you more?
I think even tonight at open house, it was a great example that you showed with us and how to go step by step of doing the problem. So many times we have our kids come home with a math sheet and there's maybe a problem done for them on the top, but it doesn't show all the step-by-steps. And we sit down with our kids, and both of us get frustrated trying to figure it out. So if the parent is also able to be shown how to do it, takes a little less stress off both of us and really helps to help our child get through the assignment.
Okay, great. Anything else that I can do to help support you at home?
No, that covers it.
Yeah, just extra practice or even step-by-steps at home.
Yeah, like if you
instructions.
brought home one sheet that explained the process of getting to that, like, because they don't have books anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And in the books, it would explain the process.
Right. Yep, absolutely. That wouldn't be hard at all to get a packet together.
The final step is the wrap-up. Is the teacher thanking the parents for coming? Is she offering ways to keep the conversation and the relationship going?
I want to thank you for coming to the open house, and we're going to have a great year. So remember, my email is always out, so if you want to email me, the phone is always open too. And any questions, don't hesitate to call.
Thank you.
Thank you.